Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is, because it is my favorite time of the week, and probably your favorite time of the week. That means it's time to save some money on some great Switch and Switch 2 games, both digital, but also physical. And this is one of my favorite sales I've ever put together, and I'm laughing because I already know you're gonna say, come on man, you say this every week. But hey, is that a bad thing? I don't think so. So you do not want to miss these deals. This is an amazing sale. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So I actually haven't been making videos for the past few days because you can hear in my voice, I'm a tad bit under the weather. But if anything is going to get me out of that slump, it is some great deals. I'm looking at my notes right here, man. We have some fantastic deals for the Switch and Switch 2, both digital and physical. And it gets me fired up. But you know what gets me a little bit more fired up? Yeah, giving away Nintendo Eshop gift cards. It does a trick every single time, so we should probably do it again. Here's another winner of a Nintendo Eshop gift card. Yeah, it really does the trick. If you'd like to have the same opportunity every single week, all you have to do is like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter or both of those and really support the community as much as you can, and I will always give back as much as I can. And I think I have multiple giveaways coming up this week. So that's enough yapping. Let's go ahead and get right into these deals. The first game we're talking about is technically games, and that is BIOSHOCK the Collection. The remastered collection, mind you. This is currently on sale for $9.99, and that is 80% off on the eShop. This is $10 that you could spend and get 3 of arguably the greatest games of all time. Now, I know it sounds a little crazy, but I actually prefer BIOSHOCK 3, like BIOSHOCK Infinite, the most. I think it is a timeless, perfect game that still holds up to this very day, but you can't go wrong with any of these, especially only for $10. We have Mega Man 11 currently on sale for $4.49, and that is 85% off on the eShop, and I think this might be tied with the lowest price this has ever been. And I'm not saying this is like an amazing game or anything, but I'm a pretty big Mega Man fan, and we don't get much Mega Man. I think at the Game Awards last year they announced a new one coming out, I believe in 2027, but I did have a lot of fun with this one. It just reminds you of like a lot of nostalgia, you know. Mega Man or Rockman is just one of those retro characters that I hope stays around for a very long time, and I did enjoy myself with this game. So for this price, I think it's definitely worth it. Now let's talk about 1000X Resist or 1000 Resist. This is currently on sale for the Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 for $11.99, and that is 40% off on the eShop. So I'll be honest, I didn't know much about this game until pretty recently. I think I covered a leak when it got first rated for the Switch 2, and I did a little research, and it turns out people absolutely love this game. So now the official Switch 2 edition came out, I want to say a day or two ago, and what's cool is if you own the Switch edition already, you get the free Switch 2 upgrade. But now that there's an official Nintendo Switch 2 edition, I've seen multiple people say like this is the best way they've played this game so far, and this game has won a ton of awards. This is a thrilling sci-fi adventure. 1,000 years in the future, humanity is all but extinguished, and a disease spread by an alien occupation keeps their survivors underground. You need to fulfill your purpose in service of the All-Mother until the day you learn a shocking secret that changes everything. Now another game that actually just got a Switch 2 upgrade is Another's Crab Treasure. This is currently on sale for the Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 for $11.99. That is 60% off on the eShop, and this is the lowest price this has ever been. And what's really cool is the upgrade path to the Switch 2 is also free for this as well. This one has me a little split down the middle because, you know, I played it on the Switch and I did enjoy it, but it was definitely rough around the edges and a lot harder than I thought it was. I didn't know what I expected this game to be, but essentially it's like a mini Souls-like kinda, but it's still a really good game. Now on the Switch 2, it is way better than it was on the Switch, but there still is a few issues I kind of wish they would have ironed out. But if you are interested in this game and you have a Nintendo Switch 2, I would say it's definitely worth picking it up for $12. You're definitely going to have some fun. It's pretty challenging, and it's just a really cool concept. We also have YOKUS Island Express currently on sale for $3.99, and that is 80% off on the eShop. This is one of those games, no matter what price it's on sale, I will always recommend, because you're always going to get your value. Like, even if you pick this up full price, you're going to get your value. It is such a genius Metroidvania. It's so different than every other Metroidvania because you're using this pinball mechanic, and it's awesome. It's addicting. The characters are charming. The music is great. The map seems really, really big at first, but then you kind of figure out everything, I guess, kind of like other Metroidvanias. And it's almost a perfect game that kind of flies under the radar, so I cannot recommend this game enough. We have Blasphemous and Blasphemous 2 currently in a bundle right now for $8.99, and that is 80% off the full price. And yes, these games are challenging, but they are incredible, and to get both of these for $9 is an absolute steal. Blasphemous is so good. It's really the only kind of series I think that even came close to me compared to Hollow Knight. Like the vibes and the feelings and the atmosphere. Like, yes, they're two different games, but Blasphemous is the only other series that got close to that for me. And I think it has some of the coolest enemies and boss fights in any game ever. Like, they look so badass. Somehow they took all of that, put it into Blasphemous 2, and made it even better. I don't know how, but they did it. So this is a fantastic deal. We have Sonic X Shadow Generations Deluxe Edition currently on sale for the Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 for $17.99. That is 70% off the full price, and this is the lowest price this has ever been. And this is an amazing deal. I've actually played both versions of these games. I had it for the Switch 2, lost my copy. Then I just bought the Switch version because I was like, what the hell, you know, it is what it is. And I really enjoyed that version on my Switch 2 as well. I didn't see much differences really at all. So no matter which console you're picking it up for, I think it's great. This is one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. I mean, it's technically two games in the package, but Sonic Generations is great. Shadow Generations is incredible. And if you're a Sonic fan, these are must-play games. I'll also mention both of these games together, but they're on sale separately, but for the same price. And that is Yakuza Kiwami 1 or 2. They are both on sale for $17.99. That is the price for the Switch 2 edition, so these are Switch 2 versions, and that is 40% off the full price. And this might be the lowest price these have ever been on the eShop. Keep in mind also, Yakuza Kiwami 1 for the Nintendo Switch is on sale for like $12 as well. But if you have a Switch 2, just pick up these versions. They're a lot better. These games are amazing. Yakuza Kiwami was my first Yakuza game ever, and I always seen the gameplay, and I didn't really know what to expect. And yeah, I got sucked into these games. The stories, the characters are amazing. The concept is like straightforward at first, but then it gets wacky off the rails. Some of the mini games and side quests are completely bonkers. Yeah, I'm just so happy that Yakuza is a series, and I hope they continue to make these for as long as possible because they're awesome. So you cannot go wrong with these. Now let's talk about a newer game that is so cool called Moss the Forgotten Relic. This is currently on sale for $15.99 for the Switch or Nintendo Switch 2. That is 20% off the full price, and this is the lowest price this has ever been. You will explore a fallen kingdom, and you need to adventure through a mythic land marked by the ruins of the fallen kingdom, slowly being reclaimed by an enduring and untamed nature. Form a powerful bond with Quill, a small but courageous mouse who looks to you for guidance, protection, and trust at every step of her journey. Uncover hidden secrets, navigate puzzling places, and confront arcane forces in an intimate and epic fable inspired by classic fantasy adventures. This game reminds me of so much, and I guess these were games that were already out maybe on the Switch, or I know they're out on other platforms, maybe PlayStation or something, and it was two games, but then they combined them into one game or one setting somehow. Again, I thought this would have a bigger impact than it did, but it kind of flew under the radar. So luckily, you can check it out while it's on sale. Now, a game I don't really see many people recommend that much is Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. But this is currently on sale for $17.99, and that is 70% off on the eShop. And I would love to recommend this game, so I will. I was one of the people who didn't know much about this whole Persona universe, Shin Megami Tensei, any of that stuff. But I bought this randomly just because I was looking for a new JRPG to play, and I picked it up for like $30. I loved every second of this. It is incredible. This is like the definitive edition of Shin Megami Tensei 5. So they added a lot to the story, like kind of actually gave it a story for the first time. I think they added some new areas or something and fine-tuned the gameplay. So I've seen a lot of people say like this is a much better version than the basic version. I can't compare the two, but what I can say is I had so much fun playing this. The gameplay is incredible, and yeah, if you're a JRPG fan, you're really going to enjoy this, especially if you like Persona because it's in the same universe. Speaking of Persona, Persona 5 Royal is also on sale right now for $17.99, and that is also 70% off on the eShop. And again, I can recommend this game 1,000,000 quadrillion %. This actually falls into that category of games where I wish I could experience it again for the very first time. And it's one of those games, it's like, yeah, it took me 80 hours to beat or something. And that's such a commitment, but I just want to replay it again so bad. And I actually played it for the first time, I believe, last year. So, you know, it hasn't been that long, but it's just one of those games or experiences that stick with you. I think it's a top 10 game probably of all time. It's definitely top 3 JRPGs of all time. The soundtrack is amazing. The characters are great. The gameplay is amazing. The whole style of everything is so cool. And whether you're a newcomer to this genre or you're a fan of the genre, no matter what, you're gonna enjoy this one. Now we also have Paper Mario with a Thousand Year Door currently on sale physically for the Nintendo Switch at Woot for $39.99, and that is 33% off the full price. And even though I will sound like a broken record here because I always kind of repeat this phrase, I do stand by it. I think this game did not need a remastered version at all. I think the GameCube version is perfect. It holds up so well. Like the graphic style, just everything, it holds up so well. And that's how I felt 100%. But when I played this, I was like, yeah, this is awesome. What am I talking about? Like, of course it's better to have this version, but I just don't want it to take away from the GameCube version. But if you only have one opportunity to play it, play the Switch version. This is my own opinion, but I think it is a top 10 Nintendo game of all time. I might even have it closer to the top 5. Not my personal top 5, but just out of everything Nintendo's ever made, it's close to the top 5, man. It is so good. I love the wacky and goofy characters in this one. The gameplay is, like I said, timeless. And for $40 to get a physical copy, that is awesome. We also have CRONOS The New Dawn currently on sale for the Nintendo Switch 2 physically at Amazon for $25.96. That is 57% off the full price, and I think this might be the lowest price this has ever been. Now keep in mind, even though this is a physical copy, you're getting a game key card here. I just want to highlight that. But no matter which way you get to play this game, do it. It's going to be great. I am not a action horror genre fan, really, not because I'm opposed to it, just because I've never really dived into it. So, you know, when I first played this, I was like, I don't know if I'm even going to really like this. And I blew through the game. It is so weird. It is so unique. So atmospheric. It is fantastic. And I think the Switch 2 port is incredible. And if you want to play something a little different, or maybe buy this and hold on to it for Halloween, I don't know. For like $26, that is a no-brainer. We have Dragon Quest VII Reimagined currently on sale for the Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 physically at Woot for $36.99, and that is 38% off the full price. And I think this is the lowest price this has ever been. On the Switch 2, again, keep in mind this is a game key card. But I played this on the Switch 2, and I used the game key card, and I didn't really care because I had so much fun playing this. I never played it back on the 3DS, I think, and then also on the PS1, I believe, or maybe PS2. I never played those versions. So this was my first time playing Dragon Quest VII, and it just felt so familiar, like just one of those grand adventures. You just knew you were in for a treat. And I had so much fun from start to finish. And honestly, it is one of the best Switch 2 games I've played so far. And we also have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth currently on sale physically for the Nintendo Switch 2 at Amazon, Best Buy, and GameStop for $34.99. That is 30% off the full price, and this is the lowest price this has ever been, at least physically. And that is an amazing deal. You know, it's crazy. This is a true story, right? I beat Remake and Rebirth on my PlayStation 5, and I thought, you know, I'll just wait till part 3 comes out and I'll continue it. But I could not wait, so I beat Remake on my Switch 2, And now I have a copy of Rebirth coming in the mail right now for my Switch 2. I just got to replay it again. It is one of the best games I've ever played. And on top of all of that, in the past like 48 or 72 hours, this game just got a huge update on the Switch 2 that fixed a lot of the pop-in problems and performance issues, so it's even better than it already was. So if you ever wanted to play this on the Switch 2, now is your chance to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, I was not kidding. There are some amazing sales this week, and I know you say that every week, but I think I do a really good job of putting a really unique list of games together, and therefore they are my favorite. So in the comments below, let me know what you guys are thinking, any sales you might be picking up, any sales I missed, any games you're playing. Just start a conversation. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, I really appreciate it. So if you could do me a favor, hit a like and subscribe on the way out. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter on the way out, and consider becoming a channel member, as that is the ultimate way to support the community. And you guys know me, I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace.